Let's get straight into it. Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla is battling explosive allegations from within her own family. Specifically, her sister, Nkosazana Bongamini Zuma-Mncube, who alleges Zuma-Sambudla recruited 17 South African men to serve in the Russia and Ukraine conflict. Now, these men, now trapped in Ukraine's Donbas region, have sent desperate pleas to the South African government for rescue. Now, while Zuma-Sambudla flatly denies the claims, the Hawk said they will be investigating the matter. Let's break down these developments. Defense analyst Dean Wingrin joins us now. Dean, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. How concerning is this overall? I just look at it and I just think from a security perspective, how concerning is it that we've sent, that possibly, I mean, not we as a government, but people have been sent to that Donbas region and now are stuck in that war between Russia and Ukraine?
Indeed, and thanks for having me. And it is really sad for the people involved who, by all accounts, it appears that they had no idea of what they were getting themselves into. And once you're there, it's extremely difficult to get them out. This also has a lot of repercussions within South Africa. On a global scale, it's not too much of an issue in the sense that there are a lot of people, particularly people from African countries. They say there's about 1,000, at least 1,500 people from about 36 African countries fighting on behalf of Russia against Ukraine. And many of those have found themselves there through no fault of their own, but have been lured there under false pretenses. But this certainly will have repercussions within South Africa. It's a highly politicized situation that these people find themselves in. And the story will not be going away anytime soon.
Dean, don't you want to just explain to me how somebody gets lured to something like this on false pretenses? I ask that because the supposition here is that these men were lured to have some kind of training. And then it happens to then just be in this Donbas region that all of this happens then. How does something like this happen by your analysis? How could it happen?
There's a number of different ways that people can find themselves in. The one is where they voluntarily go there. But they didn't have knowledge or intent to actually do fighting. They thought they would be going to Russia to work in a drone factory, to work far from the front lines. Others have sort of did not intend to go there, but they went there for some training to do assistance, but certainly not to do fighting. And when they get there, they then suddenly realize they're in a foreign country, they don't speak the language, they're suddenly presented with a document that they cannot understand, which is actually the contract with a mercenary group to fight on behalf of Russia. And they're pressured into signing this document. And it happens so quickly, and then within a week, they suddenly find themselves on the front line, whether they've got military experience or not, there or there. You know, the other groups, people there who have military experience, some who haven't, but they go there with the intent to fight. And that's a pretty much more clear-cut situation. But there's a lot of stories, people from all over international countries, from India, from other countries as well, who go to Russia. Some of them entirely innocent reasons. They're going to study. They're going, you know, to work as au pairs or something similar, and they then find themselves in this situation. And once they're there, as I say, it's extremely difficult for them to get out. There's no centralized database of who is there and where they are that someone can just say, oh, let's go quickly pull these people out. There are many different groups that these people are allied to, from the official Russian army to numerous mercenary groups that supply these soldiers to the Russian army. And they're in a very desperate situation.
Yeah. So, Dean, what are the repercussions here diplomatically, do you think? And on a security protocols perspective here, how much risk does this pose for South Africa?
Well, South Africa finds itself in a very difficult geopolitical situation at the moment, particularly with the United States. It's got relatively good relations with the European Union, with the non-aligned countries, and of course, it's got good relations with Russia, with China, and other Eastern countries. So there are so many countries that have. It's not an official policy of South Africa to send troops to Russia and fight on behalf of Russia, like North Korea does. So it's difficult to apply too much pressure politically on South Africa, but certainly it does not help relations with South Africa's relations with Western countries. And the people themselves, they are now be under intense investigation. Not only the 17 individuals from MK find themselves fighting in Russia, but also people like Duduzela Zuma Sambudla and people who are associated with her that have now been named as assisting in these people going to Russia. And I believe the Hawks are investigating all aspects of that.
Yeah, look, I don't want to go into the realm of speculation too deeply here, but one has to ask this nonetheless. You have individuals that, as you've made note of, are linked to the MK party and the Zuma family, as we've made note of. What possible role, from any intelligence you might have, any supposition, any thoughts that you might been able to investigate, see, hear, etc., or know of, what role could MK party members or any affiliates have, particularly in that Donbass region? And what purpose might they be able to serve politically or militarily?
Well, directly speaking, I don't believe MK has any direct interest in the war itself. Obviously, they would support Russia in their invasion of Ukraine, but they wouldn't have a direct support in Russia. They would obviously, has come out, that they would want their members trained in various security aspects, from VIP security protection. And what is worrying is that there's a voice note doing the rounds on social media already that, if proved correct, is very worrying in the sense that they're imploring these poor members of MK to remain where they are, to fight, because otherwise they are going against not only the wishes of MK, but MK have got other activities that this is now highlighting and might imperil. And one must think, what other activities are MK wanting that they require trained soldiers and security personnel that would be imperiled by these members now making a fuss and appealing to the social media and so on to be brought back. So that is worrying as well as to what is the ultimate motives and objectives for those people to be sent to Russia, that they couldn't be trained by one of the numerous private security companies that are licensed in South Africa and registered with Sierra in South Africa to perform and undertake that training.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely concerning, though. Now, it boggles the mind as well. Is this likely to be the start of something, or maybe it has been something that we've been seeing across the country, the recruitment of South Africans into whether that region or any other conflict zone as well, under false pretenses?
Yes, definitely. There's many documented cases of not only, it seems to be particularly targeted to females, young females in Africa to go work at the factories in Russia that produce the Shahed and other drones that attack Ukraine nightly. And these these individuals are told they'll be paid nice salaries. They're going to Russia. They're far from the front line. And it's a wonderful opportunity for them. And once they get there, they then realize that they don't get paid as well as what they thought. The conditions are, while they are working in the factories, the conditions are dire. You know, the living conditions, the work conditions are not what they thought. And now that they're there, that, you know, it's difficult for them to come back.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned before as well, you know, there are concerted efforts by these various mercenary groups to target young people throughout Africa, in other countries around the world, with they wave wonderful sign-up bonuses in front of them to come and fight in Russia. And you know, when you're living in a poor country, you don't have a lot of job prospects. You want to look after your family, is very enticing, you know, to sign up for something like that.
Yeah.
And once you're there, you know, it's too late. You find out that many of them are actually not coming back.
So deeply concerning for a situation like this. We await to hopefully hear further confirmation, further news, and further intelligence and defense monitoring systems from South Africa with regards to situations like this. And hope, of course, that these 17 men are able to return to South Africa unharmed, because they feel that they've been lured there under false pretenses.